Hi, this is Leon. This is Oskar Van Deventer, the #1 designer in the world. Everybody knows Oskar. So Oskar, how did you start being interested in puzzles?
Well, my interest in puzzles started when I was 12. I was already interested in mazes and drawing my own mazes, so I was already designing, and it was my parents who introduced me to the book of Puzzles of the World of Jacques Botermans,
yes.
the classic puzzle from 1978. And my tech teacher had open evenings where you could make things. So I really learned to enjoy playing with the tools, you know, the saw machine, and he also taught me about how to mark the wood, how to do precise cutting, you know, don't cut on the mark, try to cut it half through next to it, etc., all that type of stuff. But yeah, it was fun, and so every other Tuesday evening I went to the tech shop, made things from the book. And at some point in time, well, there was nothing more to be made from the book, so I started designing my own variations.
So that was a long time. Back then, it was hard to find new puzzles, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. So I would regularly go to puzzle shops in the Netherlands. There were not that many puzzle shops, but there were a few in Paris, identified by Will Strijbos. So occasionally I just went. Took the bus to Paris and see whether there was anything new in the puzzle shops.
This, just so you're young people, this was before the internet. Yeah. So are any of these your originals, or that you played with when you were younger?
Well, these are all my designs. So it's very hard to say which are original prototypes, because many times other people have improved them. For instance, this one I made first from plastic domino pieces, and then Tom Lenz made this very beautiful wooden version, and of course the plastic one is just in the pile on the attic with all the prototypes. But here you see wooden versions, mostly made by other people, where this is the original prototype of the Matchboxes puzzle.
I saw Philos made this puzzle, right?
Oh yeah. They have a license. I think they're gradually selling out.
Yeah.
But then Trevor Wood made this beautiful version, which is much better.
Okay.
And this is really one of my classic designs. I think its design is also from something like when I was 17 years old. So. Well,
the math is really complex.
You do the math. I think this design was from 1983. It was published in a Dutch newspaper, and everybody who got a copy of that Dutch newspaper in the community, you know, they sent each other photocopies. Please explain that to the youth.
There was no Facebook then either, okay?
Oh my God, this is really getting an old guy.
It's starting to make us feel very old, isn't it? Eh?
Yeah. But anyway, this was got published in many books in the world, like an easy puzzle to do yourself. Just buy a few matchboxes. Okay. So this is really what got me, my first spur of fame, and it even got into Japan with the
Koyosegi pattern.
The Yosegi, that was the word that I was looking for. So it has really reached the world, all the places in the world.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, so that was really fun. Another one that's fun, that is this one, of which I made the prototype also, I think around 1980 or so, where I made the first design. Then I met with Professor Van der Poel through the book. So from the book, and at that time we had a phone book, I looked him up, gave him a call, and he invited me, and together we improved this design. And for many years I've been looking for a producer that wants to put it on the market, but ultimately it was taken by a Spanish company that is selling things in kiosks on the street, where you have a booklet and then there's an object with it, so then it was produced. And of course, once the design was out there, it has been produced in many other places. So I think this is a Japanese version, and here we have a Chinese version, and we found this just when shopping in Guangzhou. It was just there. So it's very funny that sometimes when you have a design like this, for 20 years nobody wants it. I mean, Pentangle said, well, we don't want it, we already have puzzles.
Yes.
So
yes.
that was a bit, yeah.
And Pentangle was out of Britain, right?
That's correct.
That's right.
So at that moment, Pentangle, well, they could have become the largest puzzle company in the world, but they said, well, we have 12 puzzles, that's enough, we don't need another one.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I'm really happy that it's now picked up and it's everywhere. Will Strijbels made the metal version, which is in the Jerry Slocum Museum. So
Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
So that wood is kind of how you started, but today you're known for what?
Well, 3D printed stuff.
Like
But,
this stuff.
yeah.
This stuff